Good morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, nice and cool in July, and I'm here in one of my favorite cities in Southern California. This is the city of Redlands. So behind me here is the only museum dedicated to Abraham Lincoln in the western US. This is the Lincoln Memorial Shrine. That is a cannon from the Civil War era that sometimes they'll sound here during demonstrations, and you can hear it all through the town. And then right nearby here too is the A.K. Smiley Library, which dates from Victorian times. Has very unique architecture. It was back in the era when the British ran the world, and they were coming back with all the architectural styles of the countries that they ruled in India and in Africa and different places. But here's the Lincoln Shrine, and in there half of it is dedicated to the Civil War and half of it is the life of Lincoln. Such an interesting and really immortal character in American history. The only president that we seem to all agree that we like in America today, despite all our divisions. And then there's the library right behind me. Such a beautiful spot. So I'm walking across the street from the library to the Redlands Bowl. And so this is the site of the longest running free outdoor music festival in the US. So they have different bands here. They have cover bands, they do country music, folk music, classical, and they do it on Tuesday and Friday nights during the summer. This is a great venue. I've been to a couple of events here. I've been to the Beach Boys cover band, and then they did a symphony orchestra last summer that I went to. It's been going on for generations. You have to love these old neighborhoods in Redlands. These are historic district neighborhoods, and the new cities in the US, they never look like this. This is all from Victorian times, Edwardian times. Beautiful craftsmanship. You have a lot of redwood trees and older mature trees in here. A lot of these homes have been passed down through generations, so it's stayed in the same family for many years. Beautiful flowers. It's pretty much like this year round in this area. This is a great walk. I'm going up Grant Street, but you can take any number of streets from the library area and head up the hill. It's just slowly, gently sloping up higher and higher. Isn't this lovely? Heading further and further up the hill. This is Eureka Street now. Just a gentle slope, so it's still pretty easy to walk this. I like this street name here. It's called Home Place. One thing that's really impressive is the power of these redwood trees. Redwood trees are some of the tallest trees in the world, especially in their native habitats up in Oregon and Northern California. They live thousands of years. Some of the redwood trees today up north were around when Jesus was born. Look at this damage to a sidewalk from a redwood tree. The redwood tree is definitely winning here. Mix of old and new here. It's nice seeing some of our agricultural past still existing here. Still got some farming. This is very old California. In season, you have oranges for sale right at these homes. Used to see this everywhere. This up in here, this almost looks like some of the mountain towns. Like maybe Redwood. And now we come to a true treasure, Prospect Park, home to Kimberly Crest. This is one of those big, expansive city parks, somewhat similar to Balboa Park in San Diego or Golden Gate Park up in San Francisco. All these parks were designed the turn of the 20th century or so. Just a lovely place up here. Trees are massive. And this is the Kimberly Crest Mansion and the surrounding botanical gardens, basically. A lot of this almost looks European, like maybe you'd see this in France in the Loire Valley or somewhere like that, kind of the era of the pleasure castles, when these big beautiful homes started to be made, not so much for protection but just for beauty. The wealthy would live here. Just a minute or two, you're going to see some lovely, lovely views. So there's a little bit of it right there. Again, this is Redlands. This is not Europe. It does look like Europe, though. Not something we're used to seeing as much here in the United States. And this mansion, this can be rented for various events and functions. It's open to the public several days a week. But the park here, Prospect Park, that's always open. So you can always get a good look at this. This is the wealth that was in the Inland Empire back when citrus was the main industry, over 100 years ago now. Beautiful spot. Here's the other side of the mansion. Even the outbuildings are beautiful. So here's the historical plaque for Kimberly Crest. So just stopping it here, you can read a little bit more about it. And then here's an area where sometimes you'll see the hawks. The trees are so high there, and sometimes the hawks will fly through there. Here's another great vantage point of Kimberly Crest. So especially during the Santa Ana winds, this is such a good vista point. Today's a little bit foggy, but you can still see a lot of the San Bernardino Valley. In the winter, you can see the snow-capped mountains up here. You have those rows of citrus groves, which is beautiful to look at. There you can see the Cajon Pass, and Mount Baldy. This must be what California was like 100 years ago. Well, I'm going to head back into downtown Redlands, but this time I'm going to take Cajon, which is a much busier street, and it's downhill, so it's going to be a lot easier to walk it. This is one of those many older homes in Redlands from the late 1800s that have been turned into offices as well as houses. This one from the late 1800s, this would have been, I think maybe Grover Cleveland might have been president at that time. So getting into downtown Redlands now. So if you come by here at night, this is so beautiful. This church here, it's lit up, and so the stained glass is very beautiful by night, especially at Christmas time, when they have the nativity scene up. So this type of architecture here, this was very common early 1900s. This is what the shopping districts and entertainment districts and restaurants, what they looked like back then. This would be like some of the eras in the beginning of It's a Wonderful Life, maybe. Time of Teddy Roosevelt and Taft, the Titanic. There's City Hall in the distance there. Redlands still has a little bit of that small town vibe to it. But it's grown a lot as well. And it's constantly being revitalized. There's that massive American flag. So I'm heading back to where my journey began. This is getting close to the front of the Smiley Library, the historic library that I was showing you in the beginning. You have this tiny little city park in here right before you reach it. You got more historic buildings too. Historic buildings are everywhere in Redlands. It's a little Vine Street Park. The Lincoln Shrine is right through there. It's another approach to it. You're going to get a little bit of a better look here at the front of the library. There's the shrine in the distance there. You can see it through some of the shrubbery. And this is where they do the Redlands Bicycle Classic. This is one of the really good vantage points. It's always so peaceful in here. So here's the old colonnaded column structure here at the library. And this is a popular spot for photos. People love to get like wedding and graduation photos and things like that in here. Kind of almost looks like one of the Spanish missions. And across the street you have more historic homes and buildings. And then right in here, really get a look at the Smiley Library in all its beauty. Definitely don't see buildings like that every day. So thank you so much for watching. You have a blessed day.